Morning.
Morning.
Forget where your parking space is?
No, I parked about a mile west of it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it's my doctor. He says I need the exercise. You ought to see him. He offered his body to science. They turned him down.
I think the walking will do you good anyway.
Listen, I figure if the good Lord had wanted principals to walk, he wouldn't have given them reserved parking spaces. Hey, you have a qualification to teach English, don't you?
Right. Oh, you plan on giving me a course next semester?
Why wait that long? You know Mrs. Lanahan?
Lanahan. Oh, the older lady.
When she started teaching remedial reading, she was referred to as the younger lady. She's a nice person, but it's just not working out.
What's the problem?
Well, she's got a very difficult group there. I mean, those kids are so far behind in their reading, they think school's a four-letter word.
I've had kids like that in some of my classes.
They're just killing time, waiting to go out into a world that they're totally unprepared for. So, why don't you just sit in on her class today and look the situation over?
Sure. But why me?
Well, you're an understanding person, you're an excellent teacher. And you're the biggest one available.
Mrs. Lanahan need a bodyguard?
All right. Who wants to start us off by reading today? Bob?
Me? You want me to read?
Page 16.
I forgot my book.
Well, here, you can use mine.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, pal.
We're waiting, Bob.
You want me to read this story here, this dumb-looking turkey on it?
That turkey's probably a lot smarter than us. He ain't sitting in this class.
Tony, if you continue making jokes, you'll get a poor grade for the day.
Oh, gee.
Proceed, Bob.
A Christmas turkey. My uncle's present came in a big sack, and it was
Hilarious.
hilarious.
Tony.
Huh? What?
Hey, if I'm boring you, man, just let me know.
You're boring me.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. I'm bored myself. You better get somebody else to teach.
Michael.
Let me have my book with you.
I'm just getting interested. What?
My uncle's present came in a big sack, and it was hilarious to see it wiggling. When we opened it, you'll never guess what was inside.
A girl.
A turkey.
Come on, man. Hurry up and get to the sexy part.
One more remark and you'll be sent to Mr. Kaufman's office. Just because you're not trying, you mustn't stop other people. Continue, Michael.
We decided to name him
Gobbler.
Gobbler.
Hey, he's pretty good, isn't he? Yeah, he can't read. He's just making it up as he goes along.
You see, Alice, most of these kids have given up trying to read.
They start falling behind in the first or second grade. Then they lose interest. Every year they fall further and further behind.
Well, why don't the teachers do something to help?
You can't expect the teachers to give the kids individual attention in classes that are too big anyway.
Besides, the system says everyone has to keep going on from grade to grade regardless of ability. Anyone who reaches age 16 has to go on to high school whether he's ready or not.
Well, that makes school like a factory assembly line.
It wouldn't be so bad if they weren't capable of so much more.
Yeah, some of those kids could be at least average students, and some of them well above average.
Pete. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Mr. Kaufman. Hey, aren't you going to have lunch with us today?
I'd love to, but my doctor says I've got to have salad for lunch 2 days a week. I can't stand to watch people eating solid food. Would you take a look at that class?
Yes,
Gonna take it?
I'll take it.
Great. Oh, will you come by my office after school?
Why, you want to talk about that class some more?
No, I want you to give me a lift to my car.
I think it's wonderful you're taking over the class, Pete.
I'd think it was wonderful, too, if I knew what I was going to do with it. One thing for certain, grades don't matter to them.
Well, can't their parents help?
These kids are from poor families,
Most of the parents don't do much reading themselves.
which will make it even tougher to motivate those kids.
Aw, I'm sure you'll inspire him, Pete.
What do you think's prettier? Our old teacher or the new one?
You want to repeat what was so funny, Tony?
No.
Well, since you're so anxious to talk, why don't you read for us?
If I could read, I wouldn't be here.
Go on and give him an F, Teach.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil my perfect record.
Tony, by the end of the semester, you're going to be reading.
You want to bet?
Mm-hmm. Bob, read the paragraph at the top of page 18.
I forgot my glasses.
The only glasses you got is the one your old man drinks his booze out of.
You read it.
I don't want to read it.
What's the matter? Too tough for you?
No, I can read it if I want to. I don't want to.
If I give you an A, will you read it?
You could give me an X, 2 Q's, and a Z if you want. I don't care nothing about those letters, man.
If I give you this, will you read it?
You'll pay me?
If you read. Page 18.
The dance. It was a
Thursday.
Thursday, and Fred didn't have a date.
Fred.
Fred didn't have a date for the big school dance. He
Wondered.
wondered. This is a lousy story.
Read it, Jack. He wondered if...
He wondered if he would ever find enough
Courage.
courage. Courage to ask Linda. She was the prettiest and the most popular girl in his English class.
He can't read. That ain't worth no 50 cents.
You shut up.
Shut up.
Then he was
Surprised.
surprised to see her smiling at him.
It's good, Jack.
It's mine?
It's yours.
$1 even.
Oh, Liz, can I borrow $1? Thank you.
Thank you.
My mother warned me about guys like you.
Well, I had an unexpected expense.
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Alice. How are you?
How'd the reading class go today?
Oh, very well.
You mean you actually got those kids to read for you?
Sure. As a matter of fact, they were fighting for a chance to read.
What'd you use, hypnosis?
I told you he would do it.
What'd you say to him?
Nothing special.
Come on, Pete. Don't be so modest.
Tell us the secret.
I paid them.
Why'd you do that, Pete?
Because they wouldn't respond to anything else. I just wanted to see if the money would work.
So it worked. So what do you do for an encore?
Well, I don't know yet.
Are you going to continue to pay them?
Not on a teacher's salary. But I gotta find some way to keep it going.
Why don't you start printing up your own money?
Oh, sure. Open my own mint and turn out Walt Whitman dollars, right?
Hey, that's a terrific idea. Look, we can use the print shop and put Mr. Kaufman's picture on the front. It's just a thought.
It wouldn't work, Alice. Those kids are not gonna go for money that isn't worth anything.
Well, what if we could redeem it for something they could use?
Like real money. Look, anything that's worth something costs money.
Unless you make it yourself. Pete, do you think those kids would value the money if it could buy, homemade cakes?
I'm not sure. But it might be worth a try.
We can get Jason to design the plates for the money. Now, how do you want Mr. Kaufman's picture? Full face or profile?
Knowing Jason, I would not use Mr. Kaufman. See what kind of job he can do on Walt Whitman.
Last period, a student asked me for $50 to do his assignment.
Well, can't blame him for trying.
I asked him where he got the idea, and he told me Mr. Dixon paid him to do his work.
Pete Dixon, are you sure?
I checked the story before coming to you.
Now, look, Mrs. Lund, Pete Dixon is one of our finest teachers. He's really dedicated to doing the best job that he can. Now, if he paid a student to do schoolwork, he paid a student?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure that if he paid a student to do schoolwork, he must have had a perfectly valid reason for doing it.
What reason?
Well, frankly, I can't think of one.
Start, Mr. Dixon?
Well, let's wait until the bell rings.
You call on me twice a day? You see, I'm trying to save up enough money to get the new Beatles album.
Chocolate cake? Donuts? Can we watch?
I think you've earned that right.
How about me? I'm ready. How about me, Mr. Dixon? I'm ready. Hey, you didn't call me yesterday.
I want to talk to you before we start reading. From now on, I'm going to be paying you with these. Walt Whitman $10 bills.
Can I see one of those?
Sure.
Whose picture is that?
Walt Whitman's.
You mean you're not going to pay us with real money anymore?
If I did, I'd be bankrupt.
What are we supposed to do with that funny money?
Here's how it operates. You get paid according to how much and how well you work. Reading in class can be worth $20. A homework assignment, $40. And a book report can earn up to $75.
Yeah, and we can use it for wallpaper.
If you want. But there are other uses for your Whitman dollars. Like this. The Miss McIntyre Devil's Food Cake. You know, men have killed for less than this, and you can earn it just by working in class.
How many Whitman dollars does it cost?
Goes to the highest bidder.
So the one with the most money has the best chance.
And there are other baked goodies, too. Like the famous Alice Johnson donut.
I didn't know you made such great donuts. I don't. I bought them at the bakery.
All right. Who's going to be the first one to earn their Whitman dollars? Bob, turn to page 22.
Would you tell Pete to see me in my office after class, please?
I will.
But why money, Pete?
Because I wanted to reach him.
Yes, well, couldn't you have used something a little less controversial?
For example,
Well, for example, grades, like we've been using for the last 100 years.
grades don't mean anything to these kids. All they hear is get enough A's and B's and you'll go to college. Not one of these kids has any intention of going to college. The only thing they understand is what's happening to them right now.
So you're using psychological conditioning. Do the job, ring the bell, get the reward.
Exactly. But instead of using grades, I'm substituting a reward they'll appreciate.
But don't you see, Pete, that's what bothers me about this thing. I mean, let's face it, you're bribing the kids to do their work.
Well, I prefer to think of it as motivation.
But the motivation is materialism. I mean, after a while, they won't want to do anything unless it's for money.
I'm not teaching them to be materialistic. I am teaching them how to use it so they can educate themselves.
Yes, but you're emphasizing money. I mean, if we're going to emphasize money, why don't we just start a course in hustling and loan sharking?
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a... Pete, that's a horrible idea.
The kids could learn to make money with their money. Oh, I don't mean hustling or loan sharking, but something legitimate like real estate or the stock market.
Wait, hold it. Wait a minute. Real estate? I haven't even okayed the original proposal.
Is it okay?
Oh, boy, look, I'll be honest. My gut reaction is no. I've been on this diet so long, I don't trust my gut anymore. Okay. I'm willing to give it a try.
Thanks.
You know, we're going to be hearing from Mrs. Lund. She's threatened to take a complaint to the superintendent in charge of curriculum.
Anyway, thanks for the idea about the stock market.
Do me a favor, will you? Don't tell anybody where you got that great idea.
I wouldn't buy all right now.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Well, I'm pretty
Yeah,
busy.
well, it's very important. It's very important. Just take a second. He'll be right back. Listen, old buddy. What do you say we arrange a little loan?
What do you mean, old buddy? You were always making fun of me.
What did I know? I couldn't even read.
Mr. Dixon.
Oh, Mrs. Lund.
Mr. Dixon, I'd like to sit in on your class and observe. Would you mind?
No, not at all. Take a seat anywhere.
Thank you.
We're going to have a stock market buy and sell period. Mrs. Lund, some of the students have studied 10 companies. They've bought shares. Now they're going to trade the stocks back and forth among themselves. All right? Who made the most Walt Whitman dollars yesterday?
I made 170.
I made 220.
I made 290.
Anybody make more than that? How'd you do it, Michael?
I bought technical research and it went up.
Why'd you buy it?
Well, I read in the newspaper where they discovered a new process for water purification.
Now we'll have a 10-minute stock market session. Who's got something to sell? Bob.
I got 20 shares of United Computer.
Okay, what are the bids?
$50.
52.
5208.
Why does Pete need 5 cakes?
Because the kids earned a lot more money than we expected. Besides, you can't have them paying more than a couple thousand Whitman dollars for a cake.
Why doesn't he just tell him it's inflation?
He can't. He's got a lot more sympathy for the government now. It's kind of hard to stop issuing money once you get started.
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
The Ingerfood cake fell. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We'll make another one.
You know, I have absolutely no talent for cooking. I almost flunked my final exam in home economics.
Oh, yeah? How'd you do that?
Burned the salad. It's a little joke.
Cakes, money, that's what I've heard. Seymour, I don't like it.
Now, wait a minute. Aren't you jumping to conclusions just a little bit? I mean, you've only heard one side, right?
No, wait a minute. I am a progressive man. I don't need to remind you that our school system was the first one in this state to introduce a course in sex education.
I know that.
This money program, it's just too unorthodox.
Well, how do you know you have... I'll tell you what. Look, the class is in session right now. Will you look at it?
It isn't necessary.
Mr. Ross, we've got to give our teachers a chance to innovate and develop new teaching methods. Now, we can't just stop them before we give them an opportunity to show what they can do. Can we?
Jerry West helped the Lakers defeat the Celtics 102 to 101 last night. West scored 38 points in leading the Lakers to their third win in a row.
It's very good, Tony. Very good.
Thanks. I owe you something.
What do you mean?
Remember when you first came into the class and you said you'd have me reading and I bet you wouldn't?
Yes.
Here's 10 Whitman dollars. I figure that squares us.
Okay, Tony. Well, I guess you're all ready to buy some cakes now. But before we begin, I want to say something. We've had a lot of fun in this class. First with real money, then with the Whitman dollars. But the important thing is whether your reading has improved. And it has. Arlene, Your last test showed an increase of up to a year in your reading level. Michael, you've improved enough so that you're ready to leave the class.
But I don't want to.
All of you have improved. Anywhere from several months to a year. Now, we all know that this has been an experiment and we may not be able to continue it. So let's be honest. The funny money and the cakes are kid stuff. You don't need them. You'll be paid plenty just to go to high school.
What do you mean?
$100,000. That's how much more the average high school graduate makes than the guy who doesn't go to school. That means that each year of school is worth $25,000 to you. So if the Whitman dollars got you excited, just picture the real thing crossing your palm. However, most of you have discovered that money is not the real reason to learn. It's exciting just to get involved, to find out more about people, places, about yourself. Well, reading and education lets you do that. And the money's just a bonus. Now, what do I hear for this beautiful McIntyre chocolate cake?
$300.
400.
500.
Hey, come on, give me the cake. Give me the cake.
Yeah, one for me.
Big piece for Jack here. He needs it.
Hey, man, watch your mouth. But make it big, Michael. Hey, I thought I was next.
Give me the cake.
How much you want?
$20 Whitman.
Come on, Michael.
You know, Seymour, I'd like to meet this Mr. Dixon.
Of course. Mr. Dixon? Mr. Ross, our superintendent in charge of curriculum.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Tell me, Mr. Dixon, these figures you were quoting about the reading achievement, are they accurate?
Yes, they are.
Good. But hey, let's keep an eye on this.
You mean you like it?
Well, I didn't say that, but I am sufficiently impressed with what I saw to, let's just see how far it'll go.
It's good.
Fine.
Oh, would you like some cake?
As a matter of fact, I would, but I don't have any Whitman dollars to buy it.
You don't have any Whitman dollars? Well, would you like to read something for us?
I'd love to.
You two girls can bake me a cake anytime. I was so impressed that I'm considering recommending to the Board of Education that principals get cakes to inspire them.
I thought you were on a diet, Mr. Carter.
Oh, boy, don't remind me. I gained 3 pounds. Do you believe that? My doctor is an incompetent sadist.
Hey, not to change the subject, but isn't it amazing how well some of those kids did?
Yeah. Not only that, not only reading, some of them showed a remarkable talent for making money on the stock market.
Is that right?
Yeah. See that kid over there? If he'd been using real money, he would have made over $1,000 this month.
Is that right? It's amazing. What's his name?
Michael.
Michael. I understand you're doing very well at investing in Mr. Dixon's class. It's very commendable.
Thank you.
In view of the current market situation, what looks good to you? Do you think computer stocks are oversold?
been drafted.
Into the Army?
No, into the vice principal's office.
Oh, then the board okayed Mr. Kaufman's program, and you're the man.
Right.
Uh-oh. You're going to have to work in the same office with Gil Casey.
Well, it's not a perfect world, you know.
Out of all those applicants, they picked you?
Before you're both overcome with gratitude, I better tell you that the board approved my plan, but they didn't approve my budget. That means
that I can learn administration, but only on my own time.
Sorry. I know that carrying a full load of classes and spending all your free periods in the vice principal's office isn't exactly heaven. You can pass on it. I wish you wouldn't.
When do we start?
Well, your free first period this morning.
Fine.
Excuse us, please. Let me give you a little bit of free advice that they gave to me when I went into administration. Never take free advice.
I don't think you'll have trouble with many of the forms. Probably best I just let you find your own way with them and then answer any questions.
Fair enough.
Now, a couple of tips on the care and feeding of the animals from the vice principal's point of view. For openers, everyone who comes in here is going to lie.
Everybody.
Well, it's the safest presumption to make. That way you're not disappointed when they do lie, and it gives you a kick when they don't. You know where you are, and the kids know where they are when they come in. Well, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, Steve. Vice principal's office. You want to take this one, Pete?
Uh-huh. What happened to you, Steve?
Mrs. Russell sent me.
Who punched you in the mouth, Steve?
Nobody.
Somebody punched you in the mouth. Don't tell me nobody punched you in the mouth.
Have you seen the nurse yet?
Mm-mm.
You go see her and then come back.
No, it's promised, man. Where do you think you're going, Steve?
Well, Mr. Dixon said...
I sent him to the nurse.
Well, if Mr. Dixon sent you to the nurse, what are you standing around for? Move it. And shut the door behind you. One of two kids gave Steve that fat lip. Either Mike Buttigieg or... Oh, no. It had to be Mike. Sidney transferred to Clymer High on Friday.
How can you be so sure?
Well, you'll see. It might be a good move to have Mike out in the waiting room when Steve comes back. If you don't mind a suggestion. Confrontation saves a lot of time. Schneider, go find Mike Buttigieg and tell him I want him. Okay, who's next?
I guess I am.
In. Who's next after that? Come on, Fred.
You vice principal now, Mr. D?
Just learning the job. Why are you here?
I cut English yesterday.
Why?
His attendance records are in the file, Pete. Shall we dance around, or you want to get right down to the nitty-gritty, Fred? Now, what's the story?
What story?
Ted, wait outside till I call you. And shut the door behind you.
I cussed out Mr. Lemon. I'm guilty. Give me the detention slip.
What did you call him?
You know. Well, I always call him.
You think that's hip, calling a teacher that? Is that smart?
No. But it's true. You want me to lie?
Oh, you're terrific. Really terrific. Wiseacre Fred, real hotshot. What do you suppose happens if I suspend you?
Nothing. What can happen? Well, man comes down here. Big deal. You're not really going to call my father.
What do you care, right? Big deal, right? He'll just come down and we'll have a little talk.
Well, I'll apologize to Mr. Lemon.
Go home, Fred. And bring your mother with you tomorrow. You're being suspended.
Okay.
School will be better off without Fred.
He looked like a kid running a bluff to me.
Well, he's a troublemaker, small time, but he can disrupt a class as fast as a stink bomb in a trash can.
Gil, you can't just throw out every kid who causes a little static.
Why not? Oh, I know the rules say we can't, but why not? That kid is a thief. He's stealing time from all the other kids in the class. What happened to Ted?
I sent him to the waiting room.
Did you see his attendance records?
Yeah. Makes every class but English. 13 cuts out of 15 classes.
Yep. He cut off his nose to spite his own face. That kid blew a full 4-year scholarship at a major university with that little number. All he needed was a B in English and he was in. And now zilch.
Oh, he still has a chance. It's only midterm.
How do you figure? He's getting an F for midterm. Even if he gets all A's for the rest of the year, it'll only average out to a final C. I've got to check some files. You want him back in?
Thanks.
Ted, inside.
Ted, you want to tell me why you keep cutting English?
Well, it's dumb. Okay, we had a book report to do, but I didn't get the book read, so I cut the class, figuring I'd finish the book that day and write the report that night and bring it in the next day. Well, I didn't do it, so I cut the class again, and again, and again. Here I am.
Did you talk to Mr. Schuler about it?
He said I should come back to class.
And?
No and. He said I might pass with a D if I worked hard.
Well, did you explain to him how important it was for you to get a B?
Yeah, I told him. He said I should have thought of that before I cut the classes.
He's right.
Well, I'm not blaming him.
Let me talk to him. You come back this evening. No, you better make that tomorrow, because I might not see him until then. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Dixon.
Okay.
I don't get another one in for a minute. Pete, I want you to hear this. You know Mr. Dixon, don't you, Frank?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Dixon.
You mean good afternoon, Mr. Dixon, right, Frank? You've been late how many mornings this month so far?
Well, I don't know. A couple.
9, Frank.
Well, that's a lot.
That's very observant, Frank. Now, explain to Mr. Dixon why you were late this morning.
Well, the bus was late.
Tell him why.
Well, some guys... well, you know how, when the bus stops, people go out the back doors? Well, the bus was crowded, and some of the guys like to hold the doors open and let other guys sneak on, without having to pay. So, well, the bus driver gets all uptight and he shoves through the bus trying to, find the guys who snuck on. And, well, by the time he's done, the bus is late. You can't hunt for the guys and drive the bus at the same time. And so, I'm late.
Frank, I talked to the bus driver, and he gave me a description of the kid that's been holding the doors open. You're him, Frank.
I don't even stand near the doors. But usually I get a seat.
What's it going to be, Frank? Shall I call your parents, or do you admit to holding the door open?
Listen, both my parents work.
It's your choice.
Okay, it's me. I won't do it again, and I won't be late again either.
Get to class, Frank. When I said that everyone that comes in here lies, I wasn't excluding myself.
You mean the bus driver didn't describe Frank?
Right. He doesn't know who was holding the door open.
Well, maybe it wasn't Frank. That kid would have admitted to anything to keep you from calling his parents.
Exactly. I lie, and he gets to school on time.
But what happens if he's late again?
He goes home and comes back with his parents. Put a check, you get in here. Steve, you too.
This time I'll watch.
Okay, but jump in anytime. Now, who punched you in the mouth, Steve?
Nobody. I already told you.
I know you did it, Mike. Why?
He ought to know if anybody hit him in the mouth, and he just
I
said
have a witness.
Okay, I hit him. Guys hit guys sometimes.
You're stupid telling him. No kidding, Mike.
Why'd you hit him, Mike?
Because he called me stupid like he did just then. Last time, I hit him in the mouth.
You hit a kid who wears glasses just because he called you that?
Yeah, I got a temper, okay? But it's improving because I didn't hit him now.
What do you want, points because you didn't hit him now? You could have put out his eye. He wears glasses, Mike.
Oh, no, I didn't hit him in the glasses. I hit him in the mouth.
Miss Johnson needs some help, really.
What's the matter?
There's a boy, Tom Whalum. He used to go here. He's in Miss Johnson's room.
I'd call the police. What are you going to do, Pete?
You'll find out what's wrong.
Well, while we're waiting, why don't we turn to the introduction of Chapter 9? Oh, I suppose you don't have a textbook. Well, look, you're welcome to use mine. I've already read the introduction to Chapter 9. This young man just dropped in our class. Mr. Dixon, this is... Oh, I didn't get your name.
That's okay, Miss Johnson. I'll take care of it. Let's go.
You're not throwing me out.
Nobody said I was.
This is a public school.
Let's go out in the hall and talk. We're disturbing the class.
Well, what if I don't want to go out into the hall?
Then we'll send the class out in the hall and we'll stay in here. It's easier the other way around.
All I did was ask him if he went to school here, and he said no, but he wouldn't go to the office to register or anything.
Do you want me to ask the questions, or you just want to tell me?
I used to go here.
Did you graduate?
I screwed up. I got transferred to Payson.
Get bounced out of there, too?
I don't know. I only went twice.
Do you want to come back here?
Yeah. But Casey wouldn't let... Mr. Casey wouldn't let me back in here if I was on my knees.
Oh, so that's why you got so uptight when Miss Johnson suggested that you go down to the office.
I didn't know what to do, so I just stood there.
Well, come go down to the office with me. We'll see what we can do.
Well, if Casey said there's nothing you can do.
Let's find out.
Oh, Mr. Dixon?
Tom, go down to the office and wait for me. I'll be with you in a minute.
Thank goodness. I would appreciate it if you'd take Mr. Darrow down to the vice principal's office and deposit him. He's been marching up and down in front of my classroom until the whole class is so distracted that no work can be accomplished.
I'll be glad to, Miss
Oh,
Foss.
thank you.
Go on, Billy.
We wouldn't have had this detention if you would have kept your dumb mouth shut. Listen, don't start in on me, Steve. I'm gonna bust you in the nose.
Hey, that's what...
Get homesick for that chair, Whalen?
I'm waiting for Mr. Dixon.
Wrong. Move it. You're bad news, Whalen.
Wait a minute, Gil. I asked Tom to wait till I got back.
Pete, you don't know this character. Oh, Billy get caught wandering again?
Yeah, Miss Foss complained this time.
Inside, Billy.
It'll be just a minute.
Sure.
Okay, Billy. What's the story this time?
It's Jim again, sir.
Oh, don't give me that sir jazz. You can't con me with a phony sir. You don't mean it, and any halfwit can tell it's insincere. Now, what is the story?
I cut Jim.
Are you sick?
Kind of. I think I got the flu or something.
You don't have the flu. We'll tell you when you have the flu. Oh, will you handle this one, Pete? I'll go dig up Whalen's records. Maybe after you've taken a look at him, you'll see what a bad case he really is.
Look, Gil, I realize he's got a problem.
Say no more until you see his records.
Sit down, Billy. How many cuts in Jim this semester?
About 10.
Why?
Just sick or something.
Did you go see a doctor?
You're straight, Mr. Dixon. If I tell you, you won't laugh or tell anybody, will you?
No.
I don't want to take my clothes off with the other guys.
Well, you can get over that.
No, I won't. Mr. Dixon, I got no underwear.
Listen, Billy, we have a fund here at Whitman for that sort of thing.
I don't want any charity. I'm looking for a job. I'll get my own stuff.
Well, maybe I can help. Come back and see me after school and I'll see what I can do.
I'm gonna level with you, Billy. I've had it with you and cutting Jim.
Hey, wait a minute, Gil.
Just a minute, Pete. Let me finish with him. I'm warning you, Billy. One more cut and you're gone. You got that?
Yes, sir.
Don't give me any more of that phony Sir jazz. You want a grapefruit juice, Pete?
Do you realize what you just did to that kid?
Here. Cool off. These are Whalen's records.
I'm talking about Billy Durra.
Well, don't tell me. Let me guess. He told you that he liked you, and then confided in you that he didn't have any underwear, and that he was looking for a job so he could buy some, right? That kid has a lot of underwear. What he doesn't have is a love of calisthenics. He hates push-ups, so he cuts Jim. And he's a very good actor.
Boy, he had me fooled.
They all fool you. Billy, Pinder, Whalem out there. If you don't wise up, they're going to tear you apart. They're all losers. They're not worth zilch, believe me, Pete.
We can't just write them off.
Come on, Pete, be realistic. The losers use up all the time. They foul up classes. They keep secretaries working overtime to keep up with the paperwork.
Gil, what is more important, a little paperwork or human beings?
The 5% that cause all the trouble use up all the time. If we can dump them, we've got a lot more time to give to the 95% that come to class to learn.
So we just push them outside, then what? We've got 5% on the streets without any education.
Schools do not make winners and losers. The winners come to learn. The losers come for a free ride and no rules. Now, you take Whalem out there. He's no good. There is nothing you can do or I or anybody else for him. Don't you understand that?
Gentlemen, don't get me wrong. I think that the honest airing of views is the healthiest possible situation. If we give a little consideration to the volume level, I may have to go to a rock festival to get a little quiet.
Pete wants Tom Whalem to take another shot at us.
Why?
Because I think every student has the right to expect us to listen when he yells for help. Well, Tom Whalem is yelling right now.
You want to hold out a hand to him?
He'll bite it off. First the hand, then the arm, and then the shoulder. And then he'll steal your watch.
Interesting dilemma.
Oh, Mr. Kaufman, I think you'd better make the decision about Tom. I won't change my mind, and I don't think Gil will either.
I think that the man handling the case should make the decision. Whose case is it?
Well, it's mine.
You just learned the big lesson about our boss. If he gives you a job, you have the power to do it your way. You win, Pete. But I think you're going to regret it.
Oh, Cal, you got a minute?
Hey, Pete. Yeah. Oh, congratulations on being Kaufman's first guinea pig on that new training program. How's that coming along, anyway?
Well, part of that's up to you.
What do you mean?
Ted Pinder.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pete, he has missed 13 classes already this term, and he hasn't taken one exam, so I had to give him an F.
Yeah, but he needs a B to get a scholarship.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like you to give him another chance at it.
It seems like he should have thought of that before, don't you think?
Yeah, he should have. But what happens to Ted Pinder if he doesn't go to college? And the only way he can get there is with a scholarship.
Well, just between you and me, Pete, I don't think he's sharp enough for college.
How do you figure? I mean, Einstein had difficulty in school with mathematics.
Well, Ted Pinder is no Einstein, believe me.
Yeah, but maybe if he gets in college, he'll make something of himself. Now, there's no way possible for him to get a B unless you give him a break.
And then what happens to our standards if we give one boy special consideration? I mean, what does a B in English mean if we help one boy more than the rest?
Well, tell me something. Does a B from you mean the same thing as a B from Miss Foss?
Well, I think we all know Miss Foss grades very easy.
What about our standards?
I tell you, Pete, I have to make an appointment. Peace.
Peace.
My sister's a nurse, and she taught me all that biology.
Go on, Lee.
Well, anyways, I know the answers to most of the questions, and I put my hand up. But he never calls on me.
Who do you have?
Well, Carter. Well, anyways, I put up my hand, but he never calls on me. Unless I don't have my hand up. Then he calls on me. He tries to make me look stupid. He thinks that's funny.
Go on.
Well, anyways, he did it again this morning. And I was really uptight. I mean, I was really boiling. And I said, well, I don't remember tibia. Well, you know that bone, tibia? Yeah, well, I said, I don't remember where it is. And that was the question. And then all the guys around me start to laugh, you know. And I said I'd like to throw that skeleton out the window. And Carter says, oh, yeah? Well, I'd like to see you try.
And?
And I threw the skeleton out the window. Well, it was easy. It wasn't heavy.
Hey, go back to class, Lee, and see me later. We'll see if we can straighten it out. Move it, Lee.
Oh, I'll pay for the skeleton.
Oh, you bet you will. Well, that's the first. That's the very first original problem that's come up in 5 years, maybe 10.
Well, it wasn't his fault. Carter drew the line. He just had to step over it.
If I had a buck for every problem that came up because a teacher dares a student, I could retire and take 10 people along with me. Now, probably the best thing to do is tell Kaufman and see if he'll talk to Carter. Might help.
Well, there's something we agree on.
Don't con yourself, Pete. What we've got is a shaky-armed truce at best.
That's something else we agree on. Well, I got a class.
I should be so lucky. See you later.
Right.
Vice Principal Casey. No, Mrs. Tedesco, I haven't been keeping Ralph in after school all week. As a matter of fact, Ralph hasn't been in school all week.
Oh, Mr. Dixon.
Oh, hi, Ted.
I just saw Mr. Schuler in the hall. He's got a tutor for him, and he's going to let me take a makeup test in 2 weeks. If I pass it, I've still got a good shot at that B.
Well, great.
I think I'm going to make it now. Is it okay for me to go to practice?
Go.
Thanks.
We have your gamble back with us again, Pete. He was nail shooting craps in the locker room.
5 days detention, Tom.
Move it. Is that all you're going to give him?
I'll talk to him later.
And he'll do the same thing again or worse. Pete, you keep making bum moves like that and discipline is going to go down the drain.
Well, this way there's a chance. If we throw him out, no hope at all.
You're blind. He's a loser.
Gentlemen, I read in our journal that there's a great debate in England now over flogging. You know, birching, beating kids with a stick when they're naughty. Can we at least agree that we're all against that?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I am against flogging. Give me a stout cat of 9 tails in my hand and...
Forget it. School board would never give you the money.
I think he'd buy his own.
heed to that.
Who'd want to?
They're very good, Linda.
Thanks. Sam Cousin says they're going to make it big sooner than we think. They cut a demo last week and Sam sent it to Nashville.
Who's Sam Cousin?
He's part owner of the discotheque where the toothpick plays. He says that they got the new sound that's going to be heard in high places.
High places? Mountains?
You know what I mean. He says that Mel and the boys should be signing the contract inside of 2 weeks.
That's wonderful.
Anybody want my pickle?
Are you asking a question, or is that what they're playing?
You can unplug us, sweetheart.
Very good, fellas.
Thank you.
I understand you guys are close to signing a recording contract.
Well, that's Sam talking big again. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, say, Mr. Dixon, you should hear our sound in the club.
Yeah, why don't you bring your chick down some weekend?
Right now, his chick is worried you guys are going to be late for class. Now, let's go.
Did you know that Alexander Hamilton was blackmailed for messing with another guy's chick?
Oh.
No, it's true, it's true. And there was talk that he embezzled a little to pay off the blackmailer.
Then how come he raised a statue in the park downtown?
Yeah, and they got his picture on a $10 bill.
Well, he cleared himself by proving he paid the blackmailer out of his own pocket. People who thought like Hamilton were given a certain name.
Lovers, huh?
Monarchists.
Right.
You mean there were Americans who dug all that king and queen jazz? But I thought that's what the war was all about.
Well, these people were for making their families and friends the royalty of the new country.
And they even tried to make George Washington our first king.
Yeah, but he didn't dig it. He used to freak when anyone would call him Your Majesty.
Mel, very good presentation.
Thank you.
You've got a flair for teaching.
Well, it's what I've always wanted. Did you know you wanted to be a teacher at my age?
Oh, I was thinking about it.
Teaching really turns me on, you know?
As much as playing rock?
Well, it's not exactly the same thing.
I hear that your group is planning on a career in music.
Oh, not really. Some of the guys talk big. You know how many groups there are trying to break into the rock business?
Quite a few.
Sure. And anyhow, if I don't become a teacher, who's going to teach the kids the real story behind our American heroes?
Right.
Later.
Hey, Mel.
Oh, hi.
I've got good news. It's almost all set for the fishing trip. And since I talked to you, I managed to scare up 2 bona fide fishing poles.
18 kids on 2 fishing poles.
Oh, 19. I've never been fishing before either.
Are you kidding?
No, I don't know why, so you'll have to teach me too.
Okay. Hey, dear, are they going to let us have the bus?
Well, I'll know for sure later, so keep your fingers crossed.
They are.
Okay.
Come on and play. No, we got it. Now you better watch it.
Sir? We were kind of expecting the band room to be free by now.
What George is trying to say is that the guys sort of signed up for the room, Mr. Kaufman.
So did I. You can have it as soon as I finish the page I'm on.
Sure. Go ahead. Ask him if he'd mind if we set up.
Don't tell him I don't mind if you do it quietly.
Thanks, Mr. Kaufman.
I know when I'm late.
We were being quiet, Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, I know that. It's just that your quiet is considerably louder than mine.
Don't you like our music, Mr. Kaufman?
Oh, yes, some of it. Now tell me, why does it always have to be so loud? I took a drive in the country last Sunday, and it was so peaceful. It made me realize how much I miss tiny, tiny little sounds. You know, like the sound of a brook. Just a quiet little bloop, bloop, bloop. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Sure, I mean, like a flute can really turn me on.
Right. Same thing.
Hey, now play Gets Me By. You didn't play it this afternoon.
Okay.
It's far out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gets me by. Gets me by. Gets me by. Gets me by. Do you know when you are so far away? Gets me by. Gets me by. Gets me by.
Bullet!
What's up, Sam? Did the club burn down or something?
Yeah, what's wrong? What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong. I get no appreciation. No thanks. That's what's wrong. Now, I'm making you guys stars and not so much as a thank you, Sam.
He's heard from Nashville.
If getting a special delivery and a long-distance call is hearing from them, well, then I heard from them.
Come on, say that, man. Come on, don't hold out on us.
They want you in Nashville in 2 weeks to cut an album. Gonna go first class by bus. Oh, absolutely. We're gonna use all the investments and invest in Sam Cousins. Okay? We'll buy a plane.
Oh, Miss Johnson, Mr. Dixon. Have you got a minute?
Sure, Mel. What's on your mind?
I don't think I'm going to be in town to take my finals.
You won't?
I don't think so.
Well, when will you know?
Oh, I know I won't. I'm going to have to go to Nashville.
Oh, so the long shot paid off, huh?
Yeah. Sam says we got a lot of new numbers to work up before we go. They want us to cut an album.
Well, can't Sam put this thing off? A week or two couldn't make that much difference.
Sam said no. I asked already.
That means you're going to have to take an incomplete. It's too bad. You're almost at the end of the semester.
Oh, can I take the finals when I get back from Nashville?
I don't know if you can do that legally.
Why don't you check with Miss McIntyre?
Do you think she'll let me?
I don't know.
How about our fishing trip? You'll be able to make that, won't you?
I guess so. I'll sure try.
You know, I think it's exciting. You know, who ever heard of Liverpool before the Beatles? Who knows, the nickel-plated toothpick could put Walt Whitman high on the map.
You've got to do this for me. I don't mean you've got to. You don't got to do anything. But what I mean is you've got to make an exception just this once.
Now, let me say that
I mean, there must be a loophole somewhere, Miss McIntyre. There's a loophole in everything, my dad's always saying.
Well,
Look, I want to be a teacher. You think I want to miss the finals? All I want is the chance to take them when I get back.
I get the picture, Mel.
Yeah,
Now,
well, the school made an exception for Barney Pickens. Now, of course, he got busted and couldn't take the finals at the time. But if I don't go to Nashville, I'm going to... Yeah?
Permit me to say something in my defense.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I just want to say that it can be arranged.
It can?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is at least as special a case as when Barney Pickens got busted. The group sounds great. If you guys want to do something for yourselves, the school will try to work with you.
Oh, wonderful.
You know, what a lot of you kids can't get through your heads is that some of us are really on your side. On your way out, give a list of your teachers to Marion, and I'll send them my official okay.
Thanks a lot.
You have to take your finals no later than 2 weeks into the next semester. Now, will you be back by then?
I will be back by then. You're what it's all about. You know that, Miss McIntyre?
Thanks. I think.
Good, good. I love it back home.
Hey, how about if we lie down on our backs with our arms and legs in the air and play like that?
Great, I love it.
Oh,
Do
what
it.
if we wave goodbye to the school like we're glad to be rid of it?
I love it. Do it, yeah.
It's much funnier, man.
All right, okay. Play it like he says. This is costing me, huh? Good. Get a lot of face, man. All right?
I'll be right back.
Hey, Mel, what do you think you're doing? This is costing me money. I mean, bread.
I know.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Mel.
Hi.
What are the pictures for?
Oh, publicity. Listen, I wanted you to know that Miss McIntyre said it would be all right for me to make up the finals when I get back from Nashville.
Well, glad to hear it.
You're glad.
Mel, come on.
Hey, is that Sam?
Oh, yeah, that's Sam, all right. Listen, Miss McIntyre said she was going to send you her okay, so it's going to be official and everything. Okay?
Mel. Let's try to stick with it till we get the pictures out of the way, huh?
I just wanted to tell them it'll be all right for me to take their finals when I get back from Nashville.
What get back from Nashville? You're not coming back right away.
I'm not?
Hey, you think they're gonna let you cut a few sides and let you go back like it never happened? They got a circuit of promo dates they send their groups on.
But I gotta get back, Sam.
Come on, let's go.
I'm talking to Sam. It's important to me to get back. I want to graduate.
Mel, we'll talk about it later. Let's go, Mel.
Yeah, but why didn't you tell us this before?
Later. We'll talk about it later, I promise, all right? We'll talk. We always talk, don't we? All right, now what I want is one nice shot, okay? So I want you should all stand together. Come on. Come on, man, that's it. Good. I tell you what, put your arms around each other's shoulders. Good. Come on, quit clowning around. Smile nice. Come on, Mel. Hey, think how famous you're gonna be? Huh? Take it. That's the picture for your first album cover.
Hey, Georgie, over here. We're saving a spot for you. Oh, you don't mind, do you?
Is that a question?
Wonder what's taking Mr. Kaufman so long? Hey, look what's in the music section of our above-ground newspaper. The nickel-plated toothpick is on its way, predicts Sam Cousins, the group's manager. He went on to say that within the year, they would be one of the biggest groups in the industry. Hey.
Well, what do you think about that?
Wow.
Sounds like a manager talking.
Maybe I shouldn't have stopped my violin lessons.
Well, music's loss is education's gain, Miss Johnson.
Thanks. Oh, excuse me. Hey, Mel.
Oh, hi, Miss Johnson.
Hi. The requisition for the bus and the driver were okayed, so the fishing trip is on for Saturday.
Oh, that's great. Only
And 3 mothers volunteered to help us, so all we need are the worms.
I can't go.
But you have to go. None of us know how to fish, and the whole thing was your idea.
I just can't go.
Why not?
Our manager's got us working up some new numbers, and I can't get out of it. You know how it is. Oh, yeah. I guess I'm going to have to settle for an incomplete in your class, because I won't be able to take the finals after all. See ya.
Okay, now let's see the shadow effect. Isn't that far out?
Sure is.
Hi. Do I know you?
I'm Pete Dixon. This is Alice Johnson. Mel Wirtz is one of our students.
Oh, great. Am I glad you're here. You know, it's about time you and I had a little talk. Kill the lights, Marty. Sit down, please. Sit. Marty, the lights. Yeah, now that's better. You know, I've been planning to get up to that school to talk to somebody, but I've been so hung up. I mean, unbelievable. Listen, what's with Mel?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he's dragging his feet. You know, when we're listening to other rock groups, their arrangements, things like that. He's got his nose in some lousy school book. Now, I wish you'd talk to him.
About what?
His career. For his own good, let him know what I'm doing for him. I mean, he's got a great opportunity here. We don't want to see him blow it,
Look, you seem to be doing fine on your own, Mr. Cousins. Mel told me that he's dropping out of school.
You're kidding. Well, what do you know? All my talking worked, huh?
Oh, it worked just fine. It took him out of school, out of the Head Start program, out of going to college, and out of becoming a teacher.
A teacher? What's wrong with him? A teacher?
Has it ever occurred to you, Mr. Cousins, that a boy like Mel might be better off being a teacher than being in a rock group?
Better off? How better? How much money can a teacher make? Answer me that. No, I mean the best teacher in the world. How much money can he make?
Mr. Cousins, if I thought it would do any good to talk to you, I'd try that. And by the same token, if I thought it would do any good to knock some sense into your head, I would do that too. But it is obvious that there's nothing that I can say or do that can make you understand anything.
Hey, man. Easy, huh?
Let's go, Alice.
And that goes double for me.
How come maybe teachers? That's what we get for our lousy taxes.
Mr. and Mrs. Wirtz? Come right in.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. This is Mr. Dixon, Mel's history teacher.
How do you do?
How do you do? I thought you would bring Mel with you.
Well, we asked like you said to, but he had another rehearsal.
I suppose you want to talk about Mel dropping out of school?
Yes, we do. You know, Mr. Wirtz, Mel is a good student. He enjoys school. And we think he would be making a big mistake by dropping out.
I know what you mean, but what are you going to do? He's a kid.
That's why we thought with your help we could convince him to stay in school.
My husband and myself have always made it a point never to interfere with Mel, unless it's an emergency.
Oh, you don't think his dropping out of school is an emergency?
Oh, come on now. It's not as if he was dropping out just to pitch pennies on a street corner.
He's one of the nickel-plated toothbrushes.
Toothpicks, dear. Sam Cousins, he seems pretty darn sure that they've got a sound that'll knock 'em dead. Sam feels that they could make a lot of dough with this band of theirs.
Mel's got the rest of his life to earn a living.
Well, we thought about that, but if we don't let him grab this chance, you know what he'll end up being? A teacher.
They're teachers, dear.
Oh, I meant that respectfully. But face it, how much do you make a year? 6, 7 thou?
That's personal, dear.
Some of these kids are millionaires before they're old enough to vote.
When you're that rich, you don't have to vote.
What am I going to say to the kid? No, you can't be a millionaire. You got to finish school. I mean, that's what school is for, isn't it? To learn how to make a buck.
No, that's only part of it.
We hope that school helps kids to find out who they are, too.
But Mel knows who he is. He's our son, and he's a toothbrush.
I heard you and Miss McIntyre saw my folks.
That's right.
Well, what'd you do that for? It's not as if I'm finished with school, you know.
Well, we thought you were.
Of course not. I mean, I figure I can take night classes later or maybe make up in summer school and like that.
Fine.
Well, you know I like school.
Yes, I know.
Sam spent a lot of time and money on us, and the guys and the whole school and Linda all expect me to go.
Not to mention your parents.
Yeah, how about that? They don't seem to mind me going either.
So what's the problem?
I guess there is no problem.
Except that I doubt very seriously if you'll ever get around to catching up in night school. And that's too bad. Because you told me you were interested in being a teacher. And you have got the talent for it.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
It's not for me to tell you.
Everybody's like pushing me to go with music, and can they all be so wrong? And anyway, what's the matter with a career in music?
Nothing. I just hate to see you do something because other people think it's best for you. You know, Mel, letting other people tell you what to do is like letting them tell you who you are. And that could be a very, very bad habit. I'd rather see you do something because you want to do it. Anyway, it's your decision. Just remember one thing. Be good to yourself.
Yeah.
Babe, I'm calling out your name, hoping you can hear. Babe, I'm bawling, hoping you will see my tears. Babe, I'm falling on my knees, hoping you can see. Babe, I'm crawling on my knees, just a begging you please. And you can carry me back to that place across the track.
Fair. Take it again from the top.
Hey, we've been rehearsing since 11.
Like they say, practice makes perfect.
I've got an appointment.
To do what? Start one of those student revolts?
Quit kidding, Mel. We need the practice.
I said I'm splitting. It's important.
More important than practicing?
That's right.
What's more important than practicing?
Fishing.
Fishing? You mean fish fishing?
I promised some kids I'd take them.
You mean Fish, hooks, worms, the whole bit.
That's right, the whole bit.
Oh, come on, Mel, you know you can't do it.
Hold it, guys. Hold it. So you're going fishing?
Righto.
Why, he's just kidding us, aren't you, Mel? Putting us on.
Nope.
Great. Perfect. You go fishing. But let me just tell you something. You can take your pals with you. Because the second you walk out that door, you're through. All of you.
Mel, did you hear that?
Yeah, we've been working for this break for a long time. You're not just going to toss it out the window, are you, Mel?
That's right, we've been depending on you. You're ruinous.
Mel, the guys are right.
Of course they are. We all are, Mel. Hey, we know what's best, right, guys?
Yeah, the group comes first. You got to stick with us.
Mel! Mel!
Look, you guys know what you want, great. But I don't want the same thing. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm not wrong either. I'm only sorry it took me so long to find out.
Yeah, but what about us? Without you, we're finished.
Maybe Sam's deal is finished, but that's not everything. Look, you guys play great. You don't need me and you don't need him either. If Sam doesn't want to manage you, you'll find someone else who will.
Wait a minute. Who said Sam doesn't want you guys? It's him he doesn't want. Who needs him? Let him go. There are 1,000 guys just waiting to take his place. And guys that play way better, too. Way better.
I'll never understand you, Melvin Wirtz.
Want to come fishing? I think you'll like it.
Why?
Because everything is so quiet.
I know you have the room after me. If you look at the clock on the wall, you'll find I have another 2 minutes.
No rush, Mr. Kaufman. room?
Uh-huh.
You're not Mrs. Banducci. How come?
Exiled again. Back to Siberia.
Opportunity knocks, dummy.
Someone robbed my English.
Hey, we gonna get marked for opportunity. Hey, I gotta leave the room.
You just came in.
This is a free country, right?
No, not exactly.
Woo! We got us a right on system.
All right, everybody, simmer down. Take your seats. Let's see if we can't get something done.
Something done. Now, we don't do nothing. Not here.
You're supposed to leave us alone, and we won't bother you.
We're no good.
Oh. Now, you were sent here because you got into trouble with your subject teachers, and I would like to know what kind of trouble. Why were you sent here?
She insulted me.
For using obscene language in auditorium.
Man, you cussed in the auditorium. Man, shut up.
And you?
Oh, me and this young man, we had a little argument, you know.
For giving another student a bloody nose.
Oh, wow, shame, man.
And what did you do?
Like in social studies, I was wondering if to choose between a pear shape or a square-cut diamond my boyfriend wants to give me for my birthday.
Here we go again, folks.
He's also giving me a red Alvarado sports car.
All right. Lack of attention span and non-reality oriented.
This is true.
What's your name?
Tamara.
Have a seat, Tamara. Next.
I burped too loud.
And the rest of you. Why are you here?
Chalk fight.
For reading my lunch in class. Big deal.
We're all socially maladjusted. That's why. Hey, how come you here?
Yeah, did you get thrown out of class too? Are you a problem teacher?
She's not even a teacher, you dummy. She's a social worker or something.
No, I'm a teacher. I just specialize in counseling.
Are you here to shrink our heads or something?
I heard you the first time.
Well, I'm uncontrolled. Hey, where's Mrs. Banducci?
Oh, man, they just made her a warden of some prison farm or something.
All right, hold it down. Okay,
It says that I was cheating.
but you weren't.
You see that? She don't believe me neither.
Well, I'd like to believe you.
Oh, yeah, that's what they all say.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, I was talking to myself, and Bruckner thought that I was asking somebody else for the answer. I knew the answer.
Why were you talking to yourself, George?
I was telling myself what a jerk old Bruckner is. He doesn't like me to say it out loud.
What have you got against teachers, George?
Teachers. I love teachers. Greatest people on the face of the earth, teachers. Why? Aren't you proud to be a member of such a great and glorious profession, Miss McIntyre?
As a matter of fact, I am.
You know, what I don't understand is why they call it the opportunity room.
Well, it used to be called the social adjustment room. You like that better?
Well, you see, the kids are supposed to be given an opportunity to straighten themselves out.
It's tough. You get the kids for 50 minutes, and every one of them is hung up with some problem or another.
Yeah. You don't get to give any grades, so you got no leverage.
Something happened. What happened?
Nothing.
Come on, Liz.
Let it all hang out.
Who was it?
Off the record,
Sure, off the record.
George Badgley,
Who sent him to see you?
Bill Bruckner.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Curly-headed kid. Lost his cool and blew up at Bill a couple of months ago. I remember that.
What happened?
He threw a book at Bill.
Did he hit him?
No, but with that kind of a kid, you can never tell. He smiles one minute and goes wild the next.
Did he throw something at you?
No. But he's got the nastiest grin. Oh, like he knows what you're thinking.
Now, if he gives you any trouble, you send him in to see me.
George will be all right.
It is not George I'm worried about.
No, I like school. I really do. It's the teachers that bug me. I'm going to start this movement called GROT. G-R-O-T. Get rid of teachers. Write box 214, Washington, D.C., and everybody send their contributions to the Opportunity Room.
Give me that address again, will you?
All right, all right. Does anybody have any constructive suggestions? Like, what would you do if you were in charge of this school?
Well, I'd put a moratorium on all homework.
And a color TV in every room.
Yeah, and 6 months vacation with pay for all kids.
All right, get serious. Tomorrow?
If you're gonna get married, I don't know why you ought to have to stay in school.
Now she's getting married. Congratulations, babe.
Let's try something.
Now what?
Pass the paper back. Put your name, your best subject, and your worst subject.
What's this for?
Well, I'm going to try to help George get rid of teachers. So we're going to try a little experiment. A skill swap. Students teaching students. If it works, we may be able to do away with teachers forever.
I can take that.
Alicia, you speak Spanish, so put that down.
Can I swap Spanish for touching toes and gym?
Hey, I'm great in lunch.
I'm fantastic in weightlifting.
Yeah, well, then we'll give you all the heavy problems.
Funny.
I'll swap music for health and bio.
Tamara, what skill do you want to swap?
I don't know.
What was your highest grade last semester?
B+ in art.
Well, put that down. Now try to find somebody to help you with your worst subject, and I'll come around to check.
I got all worst subjects.
I'll help any good-looking chick in anything. Hey,
What about you, George?
No, I'm not good at anything. According to Bruckner, that is.
Why'd he send you down this time?
We had a test. I passed it, but he failed me.
Why'd he do that?
He has to have some fun, doesn't he? He works long, tedious hours for little reward. Failing me is like a Christmas bonus for old Bruckner.
Why did he fail you?
Same reason. I was cheating, he said.
Well, why did he think you were cheating this time?
I had my math book open on my desk.
Well, didn't you realize that having your book open during a test would naturally make Mr. Bruckner think you were cheating?
Well, he doesn't need any excuses.
Okay, George. But like I said, if you want help, I'll try to give it to you.
Why? I mean, why do you want to help me?
You figure it out. Bill, do you have some time?
Sure, about a minute and a half before my next class.
Bill, I've been rotated to the Opportunity Room, and
Good luck.
I had one of your algebra students, George Badgley.
George Badgley. That's a bad news kid from head to toe. You know, the weird thing is he's actually pretty good in algebra, but he bends himself way out of shape to antagonize me. And evidently, he's done the same thing in his other classes.
If he flunks math, he won't be able to graduate, you know.
I've tried with that boy, believe me. But I'm not a psychologist. I get paid for teaching math.
Well, maybe if you had a talk with him, gave him some extra time.
Memo to all teachers. Please send list of unassigned lockers to office before 3 today. Requisition slips in triplicate due this morning. Age level reports due before 12. Collect all books for inventory. If I gave him a little extra time. Extra time. What's that?
I knew it. I just knew it.
What?
You and old Bruckner in there, ganging up on poor little Georgie.
I was trying to clear up the misunderstanding between you two.
Tell me, Miss McIntyre, do you believe me when I say that I wasn't cheating?
Yeah, I believe you.
How come? How come you believe me? I mean, I could have been cheating. As a matter of fact, when I think about it, I was cheating.
George Badgley, you little...
There, you see? I knew it. I knew it all along. You really got it in for me, haven't you? As a matter of fact, you hate me, don't you?
Now it's your... Okay, now it's your turn to repeat it, okay? Okay. I got it. You can do it. I know you can do it. No, I can't. Well, come on, take it.
Hablar.
Oh,
News of bone.
Right.
Booze of day. Eels on.
Great! I told you you could get it.
Yeah, well, pretty soon I'm gonna have to start wearing a beret and eating garlic.
Okay. Then I got this Hollywood offer. But my boyfriend wants to take me to this Caribbean island his family practically owns.
You sure tell great stories. You should be a writer.
I can't spell.
Well, that's what I'm gonna teach you.
George, Jerry's failing algebra. Why don't you help him?
Sorry, no can do.
Why not?
I'm afraid the teachers' union will get on my back.
I hoped if you started thinking about somebody else for a change, you'd stop feeling so sorry for yourself.
Great. Fantastic. Sigmund Freud hits Walt Whitman. Well, tell me some more about what's going on in the garbage pail of my mind, Miss Freud. I'm all ears.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but you make everything so hard for yourself. You're turning your back on an opportunity.
An opportunity for what? For Hank to teach me spelling or Laura to teach me maps? You gotta be kidding. The only map I need is the one that shows me how to get out of here. I'll see you around campus.
Don't sweat it, Miss McIntyre. Can't win them all.
You think you might find something in his permanent record that might help?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder whether any of this means anything at all. Environmental factors, socioeconomic factors, non-academic minded.
Non-academic minded. What does that mean?
A delinquent. Let me see. We know he's good in algebra. Does he have any strengths or interests that you can work on? If he ever comes back, that is.
Insolent, obscene language, disruptive conduct.
If it only said latent leader.
Or a very high underachiever.
Arrogant, seems to think he should run the class.
Hi, Miss McIntyre.
Hello. Oh, Tamara, by the way, that was a fine drawing you did for Hank.
Was it really? You mean you really liked it?
Of course. Why, don't you believe me?
Well, I don't know.
It's hard for you to believe you do anything well, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, take my word for it. It's a fine drawing, and I'm sure Hank really appreciated it, too.
I'm glad.
Tamara, do you happen to know where I might find George Badgley?
I don't know. Oh, is he in trouble again?
No, he ran out of school, and I just wanted to speak to him.
I don't know for sure. Maybe the taco stand. He's there sometimes on my way home from school.
Okay, thanks. Tamara, you draw beautifully.
Well, forget it, Liz. I'm dropping out, and that's that.
You mean copping out, don't you?
Clever, clever. I ain't so hot in my vocabulary.
Well, that must be because you've had such lousy teachers.
Now I know why you're here. You want to fail me in taco stand.
You're a coward, George. When things get difficult, you quit. You blame other people. Mr. Bruckner hates you. I hate you. Everybody hates George. So poor George hasn't got a chance. But if somebody does like you, you push them until they hate you too. So you still have your excuse for not trying.
You've really been thinking about me a lot, haven't you, Miss McIntyre?
Sure have.
Wondering what's going on in that spaced-out George Badgley's head. Well, you don't know anything, you big deal teacher.
You think you could do any better?
Anybody could.
I'm asking you. Could you do better than I do?
Yeah, sure, so what?
Prove it.
What do you mean, prove it? What are you talking about?
Come to school tomorrow and take over the class.
I could do anything I want? No matter what?
No matter what.
Okay. Maybe we should start with what qualities you feel would make a good teacher.
Well, if she's absent a lot.
Yeah, deaf, dumb, and blind.
Okay, cut it out.
You asked us for our opinions, and we giving them to you.
Yeah, very funny. Anybody got a serious answer?
A teacher should be intelligent.
Well, that rules out more than half of them.
All right, let's put down intelligent. And who did that?
Did what?
You threw that, didn't you, Vic?
No.
Don't lie.
He didn't
Man,
do
I
it.
I got a fever. I better go to the nurse.
I gotta go to my locker, man.
No, you don't. Neither one of you. I know all about that stuff. Now sit down.
Why don't you sit down and shut up?
Yeah.
Look, will you act your age? We're trying to have a discussion.
Louder.
Funnier.
Hiccup! Uh-oh. I have got the hiccups. You know, all my life I've been trying to catch him, and hiccup, I have finally caught the hiccup.
All right. You don't quit, huh?
Oh, what you gonna do, man? Send me to the opportunity room? I'm already there.
What are the qualities? What's the role of a teacher?
I gotta go. My fever's getting worse. I'm delirious.
I gotta sharpen my pencil, man.
I said cut it out. Now sit down.
I gotta go, just for the heck of it.
I don't got to go, but I'm going anyway.
All right, quiet down. You two, sit down and shut up.
You've got a piercing voice, teacher.
What is going on here? Oh, I get it. This is your idea, isn't it, Miss McIntyre? You told him to do this, so I'd wind up looking like a fool.
Since when do we do what a teacher says to do?
That's a terrible thing you just said, George. Miss McIntyre wouldn't do a thing like that. Don't you know that?
You. What do you know? You're so spaced out you don't even know your own name. Tamara. Everybody knows your real name is Gussie Huffner. And all that junk about your boyfriend.
George.
You don't even have a boyfriend. You're too skinny and ugly to have a boyfriend. You're just a liar.
George, that's enough.
That's okay, Miss McIntyre. I know I tell stories a lot, George. But at least I don't hurt anybody. Except maybe myself. But you lie too. You tell yourself that everyone hates you. But that's not true. I like you, George. And I thought you'd do pretty good as a teacher up there. But I guess you got scared when things didn't look like they were going too well, huh? So you had to start blaming everybody, right, George? I know how it is. Because I get scared a lot, too.
There's not much time left in the period, so why don't we get together with our partners?
Miss McIntyre, can we continue this discussion?
Yeah, it's great to say in public what we always say in private.
Maybe we can give some real suggestions this time.
All right.
Miss McIntyre,
Yes, George.
can I say something? Gussie, Tamara, whatever you want to be called. I just wanted to say that, well, all that stuff they said, most of that stuff that you said was true. Almost all of it, as a matter of fact. And that's all. Except that you're not too skinny or ugly to have a boyfriend. I just said that because...
Because you're mean.
Yeah, that's right, Miss McIntyre, because I'm mean.
All right. You think you're mean enough to carry on as teacher until the bell?
Okay. What about some good qualities?
She should greet us with a smile.
Yes, you should have patience.
Right?
She should truly believe what she's teaching.
Yeah, and trust the students.
And be a friend.
Do you know that attendance in the opportunity room has been cut in half since Miss Banducci came back to take over?
Really? How come?
Well, a lot of kids were purposely getting booted out of their classes just so they could be with you.
You were making the opportunity room their favorite subject.
Well, it was getting to be mine, too.
Well, don't worry about it, because believe me, your good work has not gone unnoticed. We have plans for you.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. Did you know that we were going to create a greater opportunity room?
A greater opportunity room?
For those kids who couldn't come up to the high behavioral standards of the opportunity room. But we shelved that idea.
Oh, what happened?
Well, we decided it would be wasteful and unnecessary. You see, instead of starting a whole new classroom with all the problems that entails, we decided that we would just take all the difficult, unbelievably impossible kids and send them straight to you. What do you think of that?
Should I tell him?
Do you want an honest answer?
Yeah.
No.
Guy comes right out of practice, changes his clothes, and goes home. You mean he never takes a shower?
Not that I ever saw.
Probably figures if he's too clean, he ain't sincere.
At ease, at ease.
Now that's too clean.
Can I help you?
I have an appointment with Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, well, you go right down this hall and turn
I
to...
know.
All right, so she wanted to get married. That's okay, but couldn't she give me notice and then elope? Well, keep looking for a substitute. Right. Oh, hey, I think I'll ask Alice Johnson if she knows anything about home ec. Yeah, well, I doubt it too, but I'll ask her. Right, okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. Sometimes things pile up around here.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's see, where were we? The injury, how'd you get it, shrapnel?
No, baseball. We had games between the outfits.
Oh. I'm trying to remember if you played baseball when you were a student at Whitman.
No, sir, I didn't. I guess I just didn't have the confidence, but I filled out some of the Marines. Anyway, the knee problem isn't serious, but it was bad enough to get me a medical discharge. So, I thought I'd like to come back and finish my senior year. That is, if that's okay.
How old are you?
19, just a couple months ago.
Well, sure, you can finish up at Whitman, but don't you think you'd be a little better off in adult night classes?
Night classes?
Sure, I mean, after 2 years in the service, you might be a little bit uncomfortable as a regular high school student.
Oh, no. No, I've been thinking about it a lot. I want to come back to Whitman.
Well, okay. Just fill out the forms and welcome back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. You don't know how I've been looking forward to this.
But my uncle still hates the Germans and the Japanese. And the war's been over for 25 years.
I know. But that's because the newspapers, the radio, newsreels, movies, all showed the Japanese and the Germans as evil people. Unfortunately, many people still think of them that same way.
You mean the movies were propaganda too, Mr. Dixon?
Sure. You know, movies can be a very effective means of making people think a certain way.
What about the TV? Every night you see a war coming from somewhere, Vietnam or the Middle East. But you don't think of those people you see as good guys and bad guys, like in those old movies. You just see poor people suffering.
That's true, Valerie. Mass communication has also taken a lot of the glory out of war and taught us a little bit about how other people live.
Do you think mass communication will ever help us to prevent war and distrust?
Well, what do you all think? Monty.
I don't know if this answers the question, but it happened to me.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just a kid when I joined the service.
Oh, just a kid? That's like us.
I guess some of you didn't know that I spent over a year in Vietnam with the Marines.
I got a cousin Joe in the Marines. Do you know him?
That's enough, Paul.
Well, anyway, I went to Japan once on an R&R, and that's rest and rehabilitation.
Oh, I thought that was Roy and Rogers.
All right, let's listen to what Monty has to say. We might get something out of it. Go ahead, Monty.
Well, it's really nothing, except I had a lot of crazy ideas about what Japan would be like. But when I got there, I...
Hold it. Monty.
No, that's all right. Forget it.
Okay. Read chapter 9 and we'll continue tomorrow.
Well, that was like old times.
What do you mean?
You know, making a jerk out of myself.
I wouldn't take it too seriously.
You know, I changed since I left Whitman.
Well, I'm sure you have. After spending a couple of years in the Marines, you're bound to think differently than any of the kids here.
Yeah. I used to be just a skinny little jerk that nobody noticed. Just one of the creeps hanging around waiting for one of the big shots to say hello. I didn't have a date the whole time I was here.
Is that why you quit school?
Sure. Seemed to me like everybody else was having a good time except me. It was really crummy to go from class to class every day without being noticed.
Is it so important to you to be noticed, Monty?
Are you kidding? I thought about it the whole time I was in the service. You know, I'd say to myself when things would get tough, I'd say, hang in there, Monty. When you get out and you go back to Whitman, you're going to be somebody. Somebody that the other kids look up to.
Tell me something, Monty. If the kids didn't look up to you when you were here before, what makes you think they're going to look up to you now?
Well, because I'm different. I'm older. I was afraid to go out for baseball when I was here, but I played in the service and played real good. I can't miss making the team here. I'm going to be somebody this time around, Mr. Dixon. You just watch me.
Now, usually when I substitute in a class, I play it very open and honest. In class, I say, I don't know any more about this subject than you do, so let's get out our books and learn together. And you know what usually happens?
What?
They walk all over me. No, it's terrible. But this time, in home economics, I decided to try something new. I pretended I knew all about cooking, and it worked. They really thought I could cook.
Really? What'd your class make?
Oh, this fantastic banana skin pie.
Banana skin?
Sure. Don't you know all the vitamins are in the skin?
Isn't that something? And I've been throwing them away all my life, like a fool.
You know, you've been eating lunch in your office so much that I've forgotten what you look like.
Well, feast your eyes. It's the only feast you're going to get in this place.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you. What do you know about Monty Harris?
The kid that used to be in the Marines? Not much. Why? Something wrong?
Well, he's got this idea that he's going to be an important man around Whitman. That he was a nobody when he was here before, but this year is going to be different.
Well, I've had a few of those fantasies myself. You know, if I could see her again with what I know now, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think we do.
I don't.
Well, at least you didn't try to act your fantasies out, you know, make them come true. I have a feeling that's what Monty's trying to do.
They could be in for a big disappointment.
Hey, Captain.
It was Corporal.
That's okay. I talked to enlisted men, too. Sit down.
Ah, the Daily Summit Conference.
They're the big deals, huh?
They think so.
That's funny. When I was here before, they used to group around over there, too.
Yes. From semesters immemorial, Whitman aristocracy have rallied round the sundial. Well, it's the perfect spot, really. Distant yet conspicuous. One can only stare and wonder at the awesome wit, the lofty dialogues taking place right now and in the past. If that sundial had ears and could but speak.
You sound jealous.
No, sir, Corporal. Maybe you're jealous. I'm reading.
Well, look, I seen this out-of-sight poster. I mean, it is out of sight. You just gotta see it.
Well, how far is the bookstore?
Just about 2 blocks.
Oh, come on, we got time.
Yeah, let's go. Hi. What's happening?
Not too much.
Well, I don't know many people yet. The guys that I knew all graduated.
Oh, yeah, you spent all that time in the Marines, right?
Yeah, I'm Monty Harris.
Rudy and Paul. I'm Ed.
I'm Suzanne Kovac.
I know.
How's it feel being back in school, Monty?
Groovy.
Oh, yeah, groovy. Well, look, Monty, we were just going someplace. We'll see you later, huh?
Mind if I come along?
I'm sorry, it's impossible.
How come?
Well, that's a military secret. Right, guys? Yeah. We'll see you.
Can I talk to you a minute?
Sure, I'll catch up.
What did I say wrong?
Oh, don't mind them. They pick up on anything. Groovy isn't used much anymore. I mean, not around here.
I see. Hey, where do you all hang out? I'd sure like to get back in the swing of things.
No place in particular.
Then maybe I could take you out sometime to a movie or something.
Oh, well, I don't think so.
Well, why not? You going with somebody?
Hey, Susie, you coming?
Be right there. Look, I don't think so.
Why? You think these guys are any better than me?
I just don't want to go out with you, okay? You really are pushy, you know that?
Groovy. Keen. Superb.
That guy's a
brag. He really is.
That's right, Jerry. The United States Congress did vote against the League of Nations.
But wasn't the League of Nations our idea?
Yes, it was. And it was a big defeat for President Wilson. Now, in what way do you think history might have changed if the United States had become a member of the League of Nations? Monty?
You got me, sir.
Ed?
Well, maybe Hitler wouldn't have started the Second World War.
It's a possibility. Or he could have been stopped after he militarized the Rhineland. There'll be a surprise test tomorrow, so you'd better crack some books tonight. Monty, can I see you a minute?
Yes, sir.
You've been kind of quiet lately. Is anything wrong?
No, sir, I don't think so. Actually, I think I've just been changing my tactics.
Oh.
Yeah, I was coming on pretty strong and putting everybody uptight, so I thought I'd just cool it. You know, take things a little easier.
Well, glad to hear it.
Don't worry, sir. Everything will be all right. But thank you for asking.
Hey, here we come. Hey, Monty. Listen, would you do us a big favor?
Sure, what is it?
Well, the guys and I have been talking, you know, about the draft. And one of these days we're gonna get called up. At least some of us.
So?
Well, we figured since you've been in already, you could give us some pointers.
Pointers, huh?
Yeah, like what to expect and all that.
Well, gee, I really don't know where to begin.
Well, Monty, why'd you join up in the first place? What a question. He doesn't like to see the little guy shoved around, right, Monty?
Well, to tell you the truth,
Hey, Monty, you think the Marines could make a man out of him?
Who wants to be a man? I like being a boy.
But boys don't get to wear uniforms, right? And go to Japan.
Okay, that's enough.
Japan? Now that must have been groovy.
Yeah, real groovy.
I said that's enough.
Monty, Mr. Kaufman wants to see you right away.
In a minute.
No kidding, come on. Monty,
What does Kaufman want?
well, the thing is,
The thing is what?
he doesn't want to see you.
What is this?
Well, I saw what those creeps were doing, and I had to get you away from them.
You don't have to protect me.
I wasn't protecting you. I was protecting them. You were going to hit Ed.
Look, I know you're trying to help, but from now on, would you mind your own business?
I'm sorry, Monty. But you can't twist yourself out of shape trying to make people respect you. You can't force them to think that you're important.
That's what you think.
Yes, sir, Corporal, sir.
Right away. Come on, Rock. What do you say now?
Come on, Ed, that's 5 straight strikes. Dig in there and get a piece of it.
Wow, that new guy can really pitch. Yeah. Won't Mr. Kaufman be excited? You know, Whitman's needed a strong fireball and right-hander with pinpoint control for a long time. He's smart, too. Now, notice the way he moves the ball around the corner of the plate. He keeps them off balance. Just when they're expecting a fastball, letter high, he throws them a change-up low and away.
Alice Johnson? You've been holding out on me? You've been married to Sandy Koufax all this time, and you didn't tell anybody?
No. Actually, it's my dad. He's a baseball nut. He used to take me to baseball games before I could even walk. Yeah, the first present he ever gave me was a rattle shaped like a bat. Oh. Hey, Liz, do you think...
What?
That he might have wanted a boy?
Oh, no, I don't think so. No.
I'm not so sure. He still calls me Lefty.
Alice, I'm sure you didn't care whether you were a boy or a girl.
Are you?
Just as long as you could hit.
Okay, that's enough. Who's next? You, get up there. Come on, you guys are swinging like rusty gates. Harris, how's the arm?
Swell. I've been working out.
Okay, we don't want you to hurt yourself. Just pitch to one more batter.
Hi.
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 Hello.
How we doing?
Any new prospects?
Yeah, the kid on the mound. You better sign him fast, Mr. Kaufman, before Webster hears about him.
Really?
If Alice Johnson says he's good, he is good. Do you know him, Mr. Kaufman?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's Monty Harris. That's the ex-Marine I was telling you about.
Ex-Marine?
Yeah, the one who wanted to be noticed so badly.
Well, looks like he's gonna get his wish.
Pete, did you say ex-Marine?
Sure.
Well, how old is he?
Okay, let's call it a day. Fellas, 3 laps around the field and then into the showers. Hey, Harris. Hey, you're quite a pitcher.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, we can use you around here. Take your laps around the field and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Coach.
And Harris, take care of that arm of yours.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Okay, Monty. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, Monty,
Oh, hi, Mr. Dixon.
can I talk to you a minute?
I gotta take my laps.
Monty, you can't play baseball.
What did you say?
I said you're ineligible to play baseball here at Whitman.
Not eligible? What do you mean? You saw me out there. The coach said...
It's a matter of athletic regulations. 18 is the top age for high school athletics, unless a kid turns 19 after the season starts.
But my birthday was just a couple of months ago. This is crazy.
I know you're disappointed, but you are ineligible and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, there's gotta be. It isn't fair.
It may not be what you want, but it is fair. You know that.
I don't know that. You don't know that either. You know how much I've looked forward to coming back and making this team and being somebody that people can look up to? When I was in the service, I dreamed about coming back to Whitman and making up for the years that I was a nobody. For the first time in my life, I'm getting something I want. And you're telling me I can't have it.
That's right. Like a lot of people can't have what they want. Monty, when you were in high school, you wanted to be a big shot, right? And you didn't make it. So you thought you'd give it a second try, only this time with an edge.
What do you mean?
You're older, more experienced, a lot stronger than any of the kids here. Monty, you're a man. Now, don't you think it's about time you started acting like one? Yesterday is gone forever. You got a whole new life ahead of you. A lot of new challenges. Who knows, you might find out that being a big shot is not so important after all.
He's right, Monty. Don't you think you ought to grow up?
Look, leave me alone, will you?
All right, Monty, but first, I want to tell you something. You've been so busy trying to make the whole world think you're so darn important that you've turned your back on the one person around here who really does think that you're important. Me, Valerie Henderson. And if that's not good enough for you, well, then why don't you just re-enlist or re-up or whatever they call it? Or at least go take a shower and drown yourself.
Well, Monty, if leaving Whitman is what you want, I guess you know what you're doing.
Yes, sir, I do.
You think you ought to, think about it a little longer?
It wouldn't change anything.
Are you, quitting because you can't play baseball?
Yeah, in a way. See, it's like Mr. Dixon said. I came back here trying to relive yesterday. Well, yesterday's gone forever. I don't belong here anymore. I've got today and tomorrow to think about. Anyway, that's why I'm quitting.
No, I can certainly understand why you feel you have to leave Whitman, but I'd like to see you continue your education someplace else, like adult night extension courses.
Well, I've already enrolled.
Oh, you have?
Sure. Now I'll be going to school with kids my own age.
And older. You know, some of those kids are considerably older. Well, good. I'm pleased.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Mr. Dixon.
Bugsy, come back visit us sometime.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You really think it's impossible to recapture the past?
Well, that depends on what you're trying to recapture. Why?
Well, you know, when I was in college, I was a pretty fair long-distance runner. Not great, but steady, you know. And lately, ever since I've been jogging with Ken Dragan every morning, a lot of my stamina has come back. Now, over in West Baldwin next month, they're holding a cross-country race. Now, wait a minute, now, in just a minute, it's a cross-country race. I just thought... Will you just let me explain? I don't expect to win it, but last year a man 5 years older than me finished the race. You don't think so? I don't think so either.
Come on, hustle. All right. Okay. Come on now, let's go. All right, Mercedes.
Yep, the team is really rounding into shape. Boy, it's amazing what a couple of weeks of hard practice can do.
Do you think we have a chance at the division championship?
Well, it all depends on, one, whether we can come up with a consistent left-hander, and two, whether our speed will make up for our lack of power.
We're not too powerful, huh?
Not enough long ball hitters, Liz.
Guess we'll have to play a lot of hit and run, huh?
Right, Pete. Bunt, steal, hit behind the runner. You know, the kind of club that makes its own breaks.
I don't agree, Miss Johnson. Ed Waters and Juan Fernandez both hit the long ball. And once Jerry Martin learns to wait for his pitch, he'll be able to give the ball a good ride also. Oh, excuse me, I'm meeting somebody.
Valerie, where... I was going to ask her where she learned so much about baseball.
Come on, Ed! You can do better than that! Come on, relax those shoulders. Give it a nice level cut. Come on, you can do it! Be a hitter up there, Ed, boy! Be a hitter! Be a hitter! Gosh, you just can't relax.